This icy mountain path seems to go on forever. We've walked a long way here. Peril looks exhausted too. We've been running all this time out of desperation. What's in store for us ahead? Are we really doing the right thing? Well, of course we are, because we're the protagonists in this children's game. Brr, this is too cold. There's nothing but snow now. Okay, it definitely looks like snow this time, and also I'd forgotten how pretty this background actually looks. The scenery's been the same for a while. I wonder if we're really making progress. Hey, Indigo, I was thinking. I think we've come to a place that's empty except for us. I have this feeling that there's nothing ahead of here, even if we keep moving. Of course not, it's just a looping background of things that look like a combination of rocks and trees. And I'm getting exhausted. Also, I keep worrying that my Peril voice is grating, but I have worked on refining it. We two, don't you mean us two? What's going to happen to us? I don't know. Even though I've played this game before, I still want to keep dramatic tension. I'm sorry. I said something stupid to frighten you. There isn't any point in wondering about what might happen. Not after coming this far. Even though we don't know what's ahead, we'll only know by pressing on. Don't worry, there's got to be something ahead. I have faith in you, Indigo. That's why you brought me here. And that's not changing. I still have faith in you, Indigo. I'll keep going wherever you go. Yes, Peril trusts me without any doubt. I can't afford to be indecisive, unlike the real me. Do. I have to believe in myself more. What? What was that? I don't know why I keep giving Indigo to Bulbasaur Peril's voice, and I just noticed it in the portrait. The Bulbasaur's skin and bulb are the same colour, and now it's bothering me. Dizzy? Or what? You don't say. Huh? Is something wrong, Indigo? Finally, you have arrived. Someone is talking to me. Peril? No, that voice isn't Peril. This voice, I've heard it somewhere. Finally, you have arrived. I've been waiting for you. Gardevoir! I am so glad. Finally, we get to meet. You're... What? Indigo, is something the matter? Why are you talking to yourself? I cannot be seen by others. I am visible only to you. Thanks for the redundancy. A little farther ahead, there is a jagged mountain range topped by Mount Freeze. Inside its peak, Ninetales lives. Ninetales? Ninetales awaits your arrival. Beware. Oh, wait! Hey, Indigo! Indigo? What's the matter? What happened? Did you see what I meant about that personality quiz motif building up throughout the game? Oh, so something like that happened. The official name of this music is Escape Through the Snow, and I really like it. Gardevoir appeared to you. That's why you were looking so stunned earlier. I'm amazed though. Ninetales isn't just a legend, it really exists. You don't say. It's not like it's just some ordinary Pokémon or anything, unless I'm talking about this specific Ninetales. And that Ninetales is up at the peak. Sniffle. Indigo! All that effort we put into getting here, it's finally going to bear fruit. I thought you would say payoff, that would sound a bit better. We'll meet Ninetales and get the truth. We'll finally get rid of the suspicions others have about you, Indigo. Awesome! And ellipses or ellipses. Listen, Indigo. Don't be so worried. It will be alright. It's only natural that you would be scared of meeting Ninetales, Indigo. The heartless human who abandoned Gardevoir, it may be you. I can understand how you could think that. But that's impossible. You're not that human, I'm sure. You believe so much in me? Huh? Well, there was a time when I had some doubts, but now, I wonder why. I really don't know why. But it's alright. Indigo, you're a really good sort. You know, before, when I first got the idea to start a rescue team, I met you in the tiny woods, Indigo. You don't say. Now that I think about it, there was something different about you. It's It is strange, isn't it? But Indigo, I believe in you. Anyway, we'll know the truth when we get to the peak. Indigo, let's do our best. Anyway, let's go into Mount Freeze. Oh wait, I forgot that there was another side path, but I'm not going to take it because from what I remember, Mount Freeze isn't that hard. I also really like the sky background, but it doesn't, the colour of the sky, but it doesn't really look like it's the kind of sky that would snow. Okay, let's go. Let's do our best to reach the peak. What was that intonation? Last episode I was talking about the Blizzard Island Rescue Team medley, and I was like, there's this music here. I almost said that the Frosty Forest music was in there, but it's not, because then I remembered that I was wrong. The point I'm trying to make is that in the Blizzard Island Rescue Team medley, this is the first piece of music that plays. So I guess the idea was to trick you into thinking it's just going to be a remix of Mount Freeze, which would make sense because it's an ice dungeon. And also, this is a very pretty dungeon, by the way. Like, it looks more aesthetically pleasing than the Frosty Forest of Brown and Christmas. That's its official title now, apparently. And while type matchups don't really matter that much in this game, as Travi Turnip proved in her Let's Play where she just Vine Whipped and Electric type moved her way through everything, I still... Oh, and I keep cringing as well, because that's just how the Sheldon does. And also, when I first had the name Sheldon, I kept reminding me of the name Sheldon. It always made me think of the Pokemon Shelgon, but also Shieldon. Also, notice how Ninetales lives at the top of the snowy mountain. I wonder if it gave Game Freak any ideas. And also, that's not the only possible Pokemon Mystery Dungeon reference in Sun and Moon, because there's at least one more, which is massive spoilers for this game, so I'm not going to say what it is. And once again, there is a surprising lack of ice types in this ice type dungeon, because we've just faced Shelgons, and I think that's a Swablu over there, but I'm not actually sure. Yeah, it is a Swablu. I remember once the first time I played this game, I recruited a Swablu here, because spoiler alert, you'll be able to recruit Pokemon here later. And I tried to get it to evolve, but I just couldn't, because Swablu evolves at a surprisingly high level, and Tempest hasn't done anything yet. And Tempest also never speaks again. Does Quick Attack cut corners? I need to check. And also, Absol's ability is pressure, so it makes the foe use more PP. It doesn't cut corners, that explains it. I'd also like to hear an a cappella version of this. Maybe I could do it, because I like humming music to myself a lot. And there's another Swablu. It looks really weird when it's sleeping. And that reminds me, when I played Pokemon Alpha Sapphire in French, I had loads of trouble with Winona's Altaria, because I basically... I did this thing where I kept switching out team members constantly because I couldn't decide on just 6 Pokemon. And the only ice type move I had was Icicle Crash on the on my Pikachu, on my cosplay Pikachu as Pikachu Bell. And wait a minute, do you get and Ice Fang on the Mightyena you get with an egg move at the start of the game. And also the first time I played it, I accidentally defeated the Poochyena, so I had to reload from my last save. Oops. But anyway, I had a lot of trouble with it because my Pokemon with Ice type moves just kept dying before I could get to Altaria, and it knew a ground type move, so it kept knocking out Pikachu. And my Tiena was a bit sucky, to be honest. I still like her though. I named her Medusa because it kind of sounds vaguely similar to Poochyena's French name because I was playing the game in French. I can't actually remember what it was though. And there was a seal which evolves into an Ice type Pokemon, so that's something. And a water type Pokemon will be very useful to have at one point in this game, but not anytime soon. Now actually, Tempest hasn't done any... Please don't. Oh, good. I think I'll set Tempest to go after foes as well. Yeah, I originally saw this Absol as male, but now I might actually have heard it's female because I named it after a female character because it was the most edgy name I could think of. I was going to name it after him after an Absol from some fanfiction I read, but that Absol was female too. And Peril can learn Brick Break. I'm going to get rid of Scratch. Brick came in quite useful when I played this game the first time because it was a Pikachu and Pikachu can learn that. And to be honest, stat lowering moves aren't really that useful. They're just kind of an annoying early game thing. But in this game, it takes ages to get phased out because the TM selection in Gen 3 leaves a lot to be desired, as do Pokemon's level up learn sets, as does the level curve of this game. But no, I still really like Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I might have said this before, I still like how they managed to up the ante, even if the lore did get a bit overly complicated and silly. But that might just be like letting other people's opinions influence me. Like sometimes I'll see people saying negative things about something I don't really have strong opinions on either way, and then just like nodding along with it, like, yeah, I see your point, let's make. And then I might start agreeing with them, but not like properly because I've never had the chance to form my own opinion. Because I actually find it quite hard to get well-formed opinions. So most of my like times I get well-formed opinions of things is like well after the fact. And Vigoroth is also a Pokemon that can be found in Blizzard Island, so what is it with Vigoroth and snow places? Actually, I don't think it's Blizzard Island, I think it's Crevice Cave, which is another ice dungeon in Explorers. And I'm going to whip this seal, which would probably be illegal in real life, but this is Pokemon. I just realised this music's a bit repetitive, though. But also there's that like wavery sound in the background that goes, and they use that a lot, and I kind of like it, and I think it's in some tracks in Explorers as well. It just sounds very mysterious. And the snow filter just makes this place look really pretty as well. Looks even better than usual. In fact, they reuse this tile set for an optional dungeon in Explorers, which is the one where Articuno lives. What are the odds? Oh, and Zangoose can also be found in some ice dungeon in Explorers. What a thrilling combat system. You know, I was considering in this Let's Play basically in dungeons just jump cutting between different parts in dungeons when I don't have anything to say, but that's not just, the problem is that that's not really the kind of Let's Player I am. Like, jump cutting in Let's Plays is associated with a certain style which is not my style. And I desperately need help. You actually did something, Tempest. It's a Christmas miracle. Which is funny because this is an ice dungeon, even though it's September still. It's only that first part of this music that I really like, to be honest. And I also constantly keep getting worried that like I sound a bit grating, but people in real life have told me that I'm actually like that I actually speak really clearly. I just sometimes don't enunciate things very well, but I have definitely improved. That's the thing, I've improved. And Brick Break came out to be useful after all. Is this gold? Yeah, I hoped it was gold. That means I'll give it to myself. Also, I think Absol can learn Ice Beam. Let me check. And also, there's some like room-affecting moves are ones that the Pokemon love to spam, like Uproar in this game, even though it doesn't do any damage, and also. In Explorers, Pokemon like using Mud Sport or Mortal Sport in early game, just like in Diamond and Pearl actually. And even though it's and it sometimes ends up being more like feeling more like a sound effect than an actual move because it doesn't really you don't really see the effects of it much in the early game where you only really know normal type moves. And Zangoose is a pretty cool Pokemon, by the way. And I'm going to finish off fighting this Zangoose, or not, because Pearl did it for me because accuracy. How is accuracy in this game calculated? Also, one guide for Explorers claims that like one gender of Pokemon has a better critical hit ratio and the other one has a better evasion or evasiveness or whatever. But I don't know if there's anything in the game's code to back it up, so does anyone know? And I also noticed that, like, I kind of was being a bit like nostalgia-like during the Moltres and Articuno boss battles when I kept reloading restore points because like every time I take a certain action, the rest of the turns will always play out like that. I think I've talked about this before, but it's kind of like a miniature version of how nostalgia affects the outcomes of battles. Affects the outcomes of everything by performing specific actions. I'm not sure why you'd program a game like that. And I know that Explorers isn't programmed like that, otherwise people would have already found a way to cheese it, so... I know that in speedrunners always quick save at the start of every dungeon because it makes it so that it makes it so every floor in a dungeon will always have a certain layout so you can easily tell where the stairs are. Of course, it requires a lot of memorization, which is why I don't think I could ever be a speedrunner. Yeah, thanks for locking Peril into a move which runs off her now boosted attack stat and can boost her attack even more. And Peril's gonna die. Meet me back on the 14th floor. No. Ouch! That turned out badly. This is a seriously tough challenge, but let's be sure to reach the peak, Indigo. Along the way, Tempest grew to level 21 and learned Bite. Pearl grew to level 18. Tempest learned the IQ skill PP checker. And we're back, a dinosaur story, which is a reference I've already made, but whatever. On the way here, something occurred to me. Why doesn't Absol have the ability Forewarn? I mean, I know it's not the most essential thing ever, but it would make sense. And also, that Viper sprite has barely any shading on it, and it just looks really bad. Yeah, like a lot of sprites near look a bit bad. Like I've already talked about earlier how like Skitty, Sunflora and Cyndaquil are all miscoloured due to GBA palette limitations, and Grovyle is miscoloured just because. And Charmander's face looks a bit weird in this as well. It kind of looks a bit more like Agumon. Although, not that I have anything against Digimon or anything. By the way, are any of the Digimon games for PS4 any good? Because I was originally going to buy some of those, but then I just decided not to because I realised that they just didn't appeal to me anymore. Dum dum dum. This music kind of gets really old really fast, to be honest. Like there isn't just a proper looping point, it just plays the beginning all over again. Maybe if there's a remix of it that's significantly better, please let me know. It's also kind of want to see a remake of this game that like expands the story a bit and also like brings that expands the story a bit and also irons out all those issues I mentioned, but maybe not make it like Super where we have a bunch of pointless mechanics that are all mapped to the B button, because why not? Like seriously, I just don't like the shoving mechanic, because it's just really annoying and gets in the way. And I don't like having made down the default B buttoning, but then you have to like hold down B to switch places with your partner, but you also have to hold down B to run. And we're at the midpoint now. I was wondering if there really was a midpoint, or if I just misremembered it, because the main body of the dungeon goes on for too long. By the way, in later games, if you have other party members, they'll appear at the corners, and by later games, I just mean explorers. But there's not in this game. And like, not only like, and expanding the story, I mean like maybe making it more in line with modern Pokemon lore without trying to shove all the legendaries into it. And I've completely forgotten what this music sounds for, like, well. Yeah, actually, they used to have vibraty sound in the background in a later dungeon in this game, and it kind of sounds like another dungeon in this game, in fact, but I'll get into that when we get there. And I also like how Charmander's animation for using Brick Break shows it kicking. Like, I know that Pokemon have specific animations for moves, like they have a physical animation and a special animation, But I'm not actually sure how many they have, if it's just a physical and special moves, or if it just like depends on a move by move basis. Especially considering that this is Gen 3 and Bites definitely uses the physical animation. Does it just depend on what the range of the move is? Because in this game, a move is treated as making contact if it's used within a 1 mile radius. 1 tile radius, not 1 mile radius. Although it does raise the question of how big the tiles in Pokémon Mystery Dungeon are supposed to be. Or is this supposed to be not to scale? Because the way Wailord looks in Pokémon Mystery Dungeon, for example, is really weird. Because it looks like it takes up loads of tiles, but it only takes up 1. And I think I'll give this blue gummy to Tempest because he has lower HP. And by HP, I mean IQ. Yeah, so this has used a lot of similar instruments of this certain later dungeon. It's literally the polar opposite of this one. Oh goody, double team. Enemy of Lucky 70X and I grew to level 20. But like seriously, Lucky 70X's Let's Play of... what's it? I'm deleting Vine Whip. Actually I'm gonna delete... yeah, I'm deleting Vine Whip. Lucky 70X's Let's Play of Heart Gold, where he just like spends ages against Janine's Venomoth and has to speed up the footage because it just takes too long because Janine's Venomoth keeps using double team, so all of his attacks miss. And it's just literally, it's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I submitted it to Great Moments in LPing like over a year ago and it still hasn't gotten on there. Thankfully they're localising all their Runaway Guys onto Fridays and putting everything else onto Mondays, but by the Runaway Guys they just mean the Runaway Guys, not the Runaway Guys channel, as well as Proton John, Nintendo Caprice and Sugar Conroy. I guess you can't have everything in life. See what I mean? At least that didn't miss. Also, the way poison powder is capitalised in this game always bothers me because it looks like the P should be capitalised. And I brought this up during the Moltres boss battle, but I ultimately cut that out because basically, like starting in Generation 4, it's written in camel case, but in Generation 3, in the main games, it was it was all move names were written in full caps, so they probably wouldn't have known it was that it wasn't supposed to be a compound word. And by they I mean the people who wrote the script for this game. And by script I don't just mean like actual talking parts, I mean all those other words. Is that how localization? Like I know, hang on a minute, is all text in the game considered part of the script, or just the part that's actually like dialogue? Any localizers here? Because most of my knowledge of the localization process comes from Legends of Localization, which is a really good blog website that you should. I don't like using moves that are supposed to hit at a range close up though, it just feels wrong. At least there are actual ice types in this ice dungeon. Like Glalie and Glalie and Glalie. Also, why is there seal on the mountain? Doesn't it live in the sea because it's a seal? Hence why it's called sea. Actually, where does the word seal come from? Is it just a coincidence that it sounds like sea? Probably. Also, to be honest, I'm not really that happy with the commentary in this video because I kind of didn't really have that many plans. Like I was kind of holding off this video until I could get some inspiration and some behind the scenes stuff that's not going to date this video at all. Is that like I was originally planning on doing like episode 13 and then putting this Let's Play on hiatus for a bit until I could get the next episode of Indigo Riffs on Things done, which is recognition from Power Rangers SPD, by the way. But then I realised that if I wanted to do a review of it, I'd probably have to get it on DVD, so I just decided in the end to wait until I can afford to get it on DVD and then just upload this video in the meantime, which means that probably the next video on my channel will be recognition, but maybe it'll be episode 15, I don't know. Anyway, we're at the top. We finally arrived! Thanks for repeating what I just said, Peril. This is the summit, isn't it? I wonder where Ninetales is. Honestly, my favourite part of this Let's Play is just reading out the dialogue. The dungeons are really boring to commentate over, to be honest. There they are. I've spotted Indigo. Alright, I see them. And And I forgot what voice I gave Tyranitar. Alakazam! It's about time we finally caught up to you. Your fugitive have dragged us all the way out here. Pipe down, Tyranitar. We can finally settle things here. I can barely contain myself. I'm itching for a fight. Peril, don't think badly of me. I don't know how to show mercy. Indigo, I didn't wish for this conclusion, but this, too, is fate. The role of a rescue team is to help bring peace. We will crush you with every shred of our power. Alright, boss battle time! Get them. Or not. Seize this at once. Oh hey, you're the one who stole Articuno's mountain. What? Ninetales. What? Ninetales? That's Ninetales? The legend, it was real. Cease fighting at once, Alakazam. They are my guests. Also, Ninetales' sprite in this game just looks bad. It looks really small and it's sort of another one of those off-colour cream Pokemon. And the face just looks weird. Tell us, Ninetales. Who was the human that appeared in your legend? No, even before that, was the legend itself a true event? Depending on your reply, I may have no choice but to eliminate them. Whether they consider my curse to be a legend or not, I care not. However, it did happen. Many years ago, I tried to lay a curse on a human. It was then, however, that Gardevoir, the human's partner, dashed in. It selflessly bore the full brunt of the curse meant for the human. Then, the human did a selfish and cowardly thing. They abandoned Gardevoir and fled. The human eventually became a Pokémon. Transformed into a Pokémon, the human lives on. And that human would be? Who is the human that you speak of? Indigo, you may relax. It is not you. That's a relief. Just now? What did you just say? Indigo is not the human that appears in the legend. That is what I said. You don't say! What? So we came all this way for nothing, thanks game. What's happening to me? I'm too tensed up to move. It's rather similar to Ascending Explorers actually. Oof. Deep breaths, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. I like that breathing animation. Whoa. Oh wow, fantastic. That's great. I knew that Indigo wasn't involved because I have premonitions. Also, Charmander's arms look tiny in that portrait. I knew it. There's no way Indigo would do those terrible things. I have another thing to say. It is true that I foretold the world's balance becoming unstable. However, that human becoming a Pokemon and the world's balance are not linked in any way. It was just a coincidence, you idiots. The cause of natural calamities, it exists elsewhere. Hey, you! You were wrong, and I was right. Let's go party! You were wrong to hound and harass Indigo. Apologize. What was that Alakazam voice supposed to be? We're sorry. We just got worked up by that Gengar. No, I suspected Gengar right from the start. Indigo doesn't just look like the treacherous type. Ha 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 ha. If only that were true. But I must say, you are to be commended for prevailing through this cruel journey and discovering the truth. Sweet, do we get a medal? Impressive, Indigo. Ah, excellent! I knew I was right! Huh? Oh, but wait. Then why did Indigo turn into a Pokemon? I understand that Indigo isn't a human from that legend. Then how do you explain Indigo becoming a Pokemon? Indigo, who are you? Wow, the ground's heaving! Also, I swear I've heard that explosion sound effect in the Minish Cap and Superstar Saga. Do all these GBA games just borrow sound effects from the same library? Quake! The world's crust is shifting. The natural calamities are worsening. And the shifting of the ground, it will awaken the beast that embodies the ground. The beast that slept deep underground. Groudon will be awakened. What? What? Groudon is rising? Groudon? What is that? What's a Groudon? A legendary Pokemon that has been spoken of only in myths, you don't say! It is the Pokemon that raised the landmasses and created the continents. Actually, that was Regigigas. Maybe. This is why I don't like the idea of the legendary pantheon, because too many legendaries overlap. It is said to have taken to sleep after catastrophic battles with its archenemy Kyogre. If Groudon were to get loose, there would be chaos. It must be stopped. We will go. We'll go too! No, you must remain behind. Groudon is far more powerful than any Pokemon you have faced. Leave it to us. That's how it goes. You go back to your rescue team base for a well-earned rest. And we have to walk all the way back through here, but don't worry, it's done for a cutscene, so it won't take too long. Don't worry about us. We didn't get our gold rank the easy way. We'll get the job done, and we'll be back before you know it. Fine. We're off to quell Groudon. And thus, Alakazam's team made their way underground to quell the awakened Groudon. Meanwhile, cleared of all suspicion, Indigo's team put an end to their long and arduous journey and returned to their welcoming rescue team base.